Happy Friday. A crazy day in the NBA on Thursday, but we had a 2-1 winning night. Let's keep it rolling. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we are here to talk some more basketball. And we start the month of December today. That is right. It is December 1st, and we ended on a winning note on a historic month of November. We ended yesterday with a 2-1 day, and I will gladly take it and get the heck out because yesterday was absolutely bonkers. I mean, we're talking the Cavs losing at home to the Blazers. It wasn't even that close. Knicks squeaking out a win against the Detroit Pistons. Nets losing at home. We'll talk about that in a bit. That was atrocious. To the ballless Hornets. The Hawks barely beat the Spurs, and the Bulls beat the Bucks. I mean, I told you guys yesterday that I thought there might be a lot of blowouts and all that. That wasn't the case, and there was a couple blowouts, but it was by the underdog. I mean, it was just wild. But you know what? 2-1 day. That's all we care about. That's what we move forward with. Hopefully, you guys kind of dodge the bullets on that one. So reminder, NFL Week 13 Best Bets video is out now. We started it with another victory, a first half cash in the Thursday night football game between the Seahawks and Cowboys. NFL player props video will be out late Friday night, like we usually do every single week. And oh, by the way, we have now won 8 NFL player props in a row. That's almost a ladder if you just put it all together, which we didn't, so it doesn't matter. But we've been on a roll with those. So we got a big Friday show for you. Those people that have been around for a while, you guys know we add a few things to it. So in this video, we're going to go over that bets recap. We're going to talk centers. That's right. It is the big man day for the centers. Defenses that give up the most points and the most rebounds per game in the last 15 days to centers. Then we go inside the lines and we talk the best against the spread teams, the best over teams, and the best under. I give you my best bets. And then, of course, we got that Friday parlay, and we finish it all off with the bets recap page. So before we dive in, hit that like button, guys. Leave a comment below. Help this channel grow as we chase down our first 16,000 subscribers. I think we can hit 16K by the end of today. So thank you, guys. I appreciate all the support, and I'm ready to get rolling. And it starts with the bets recap. All right, here we go. The recap for yesterday's games. The only loss of the night in football and basketball was the first one. Nets and Hawks moneyline parlay. Hawks got the job done. It was not pretty. They won by 2, but the Brooklyn Nets lost by 1 at home. Again, I will say it again, to the ballless freaking Hornets. The Hornets shot almost 60% from three-point range, and they still only beat the Brooklyn Nets by 1 point. The read was there. The Hornets just shot absolute lights out. I was watching a lot of the Seahawks game and doing some other things, so I didn't watch a ton of the game. I'm going to assume that a lot of the looks were wide open, but that was atrocious by the Brooklyn Nets. That is unacceptable. You cannot lose at home like that. One of the best against the spread teams in the league, and they don't even win it straight up. I'm going to get over it. It's just going to take me a little bit, but it ruined my sweep tonight. But that's right. Claxton, 2+ blocks. How about coming through in the clutch in the fourth quarter, like midway through or like 4 or 5 minutes left? He comes up with his second block. SGA 25+ points, never a doubt. Donovan Mitchell 3+ assists. I think he cashed that in like the first 5 minutes of the game. I mean, that was easy. I don't know how many he ended up with, but I'm sure it's a lot more than 3. So that was a nice winner. Then the added play. Again, just to remind everybody, when I added plays, I will put it in the pinned comments in YouTube. I will put it on Twitter. Or X, sorry. I will put it in the Discord. So you got 3 different places to check. I barely use Instagram, so do not count on Instagram. But Mark Williams, over 21.5 points and rebounds. He had 21 at halftime. Love that read. He got that easily. 2-1 day, 34-13 run. I know it's a long run, but you know what? I'm going to keep talking about it because I am extremely happy and proud of the 34-13 run we've been on. Overall record 44-29, up 17.26 units. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to have a great December just like we did November. But before we dive into the best bets, let's talk some centers. All right, there we go, guys. By popular demand, we have added the players back on the right. So this page right here is only points per game given up to centers. On the right side are the centers who are averaging the most points per game, and this is all in the last 15 days, not over the course of the season. So on the left, not a surprise, the Pacers, Wizards, Blazers, Mavs, all teams have struggled defending the paint in general. But yeah, as you can see there, the first 2 Pacers and Wizards, they're giving up over 28 points to centers. And then the next one is under 26. So, I mean, they are far and away the 2 worst teams versus that position. And then the centers on the other side, no real surprises here. We got most of the superstars. Chet Holmgren really coming into his own. trying to get that Rookie of the Year from Wemby this year. But Chet Holmgren averaging 22 points a game now in the last 15 days, taking more shots. Brooke Lopez, maybe a little bit of a surprise, averaging around 19 points, and down to Valanciunas at 15.8. But you pretty much always see Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic at 27.4 points per game. So Embiid is just insane. 32.2. This guy is just a beast. So those are the points per game versus centers. Take a screenshot. Hopefully that helps. Let's go check out who is giving up the most rebounds per game to centers in the last 15 days. Oh, what a surprise. It's the Washington Wizards, who do pretty much nothing right. And then you also got the Mavericks. They struggle just all around in general to the center position. Hornets, Cavs have been up here for quite a bit, which is kind of a surprise. You would think with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and those guys, but they're giving up a lot of rebounds per game to centers. And then you go over to the right side, the centers averaging the most rebounds per game. Look at number two, the man who has cashed us two bets. We are 2-0 betting him now. Mark Williams of the Hornets, averaging 12.2 rebounds per game in the last 15 days. No real surprises. AD, it's about time. He should be up there all the time. Seriously, he's so huge that he should. All he needs is an actual work ethic, and he can get a ton of rebounds every game. Nikola Jokic, 12, no surprise. Duran for the Pistons has been solid. Not as good as the beginning of the year, but still been solid. Embiid, Ayton, Mitchell Robinson's a beast, blah, 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 so on and so on. And then we got a two-way tie, Adebayo and Rudy Gobert, averaging 10 assists per game along with Sabonis. So those are the rebounds per game given up to centers. Hopefully this helps you guys get some winners. Take another screenshot. And now it's time to take a peek inside the lines. All right, we start out with against the spread. So those of you that are new to the channel, it's been a couple weeks since I did this because of vacation. This first page that we're going to talk about are the best against the spread teams on the season. Now, the glossary is on the right for you guys. The ATS is against the spread. ATS plus minus, as you can see, it's the average amount of points that the team is covering that spread by. So not only are they covering it, how much are they covering it? Plus is obviously covering it in the good way, obviously, as you can see all these. But Orlando Magic, the best against the spread team in the NBA right now at 15-3, averaging 6.8 points per game covering the spread. So they're blowing it out of the water. And then another good one, OKC Thunder, 12-4-1, averaging six or covering the spread by 6.9 points per game on average. So on and so on. As you can see, the Raptors are 10-8-1, kind of average, barely covering it. But hopefully this kind of helps you out. I think the ATS plus minus can be a big help. Sometimes you see some that maybe they're covering the spread, but not very much. It kind of tells you who's due for some regression in regards to covering the spread and all that kind of stuff. But those are the best 10 teams against the spread so far this season. I may be off a little bit based on Thursday's games. I'm not sure exactly when the website I used corrected it, and I'm not going to wait till every single game ends to do this. But those are the 10 best. Now, let's talk some over/under teams in the NBA this season. On the left are the top 10 over teams, and holy crap, the Indiana Pacers have gone over in 15 of their 17 games, and that's not even the crazy part. They have gone over the total by an average of 15.8 points per game. That's what that total plus minus is, kind of just like the against the spread plus minus we just talked about on the last page. Other than that, Spurs have gone over 13 of the 18, Mavericks 12 of the 17 games. It's just been crazy. Some of these teams just cannot play defense. Mavericks are also playing at a higher pace this year than they did last year. Phoenix Suns, Sixers, and so on and so on. And then on the right side, we got the best under teams in the NBA. Oh, yippee. Who doesn't like to bet unders? Clippers 6-11-1 to the under, which means they've gone under in 11 of 17 games, just so you know, or 11 of 18 if you count the tie. They've gone under by an average of 5.1 points per game. That's what the negative sign means. The Portland Blazers have gone under the highest amount of points by 6.7 points on average, with the 7-11 to the under. And anyways, I just think this is a good list to have for you guys that like to bet against the spread, like to bet teams that go over and under. Just Google like NBA team rankings over under or against the spread. Teamrankings.com, I think it is. They have NFL, NBA, and they have a ton of stats. It's not just this. So it's a big help for me. I just want to give that out so you guys get some help as well. So that's what we got for Inside the Lines. And now it's time, baby. Let's go. Let's talk some best bets. All right, the first bet takes us out to Toronto, Canada. We got the Raptors hosting the New York Knickerbockers. Raptors minus 1.5, over under 216.5 in this game. Against the spread, I know we talked about it a little bit already with some of the teams, but Knicks 9-7-2 ATS, 5-3-1 on the road. Raptors 10-8-1 ATS, 6-4 at home. And then over under Knicks 8-10 to the under, so that means 10 of 18 have gone to the under, and they've gone under in 5 of the 9 games on the road. Raptors 10-9 to the under, 5-5 at home, so nothing big there. This is the second night of a back-to-back for the New York Knicks after playing at home last night. The Knicks are 1-3 against the spread this season on 0 days rest. Just wanted to point that out to you. But my best bet, it's not a side. If I had to lean a side, man, I don't know. I like the Knicks, but second night of back to back and travel, I just don't trust the Raptors. I'd probably lean Knicks, but that's not my bet. My bet for this game is a player prop, and hold your breath, it's an under. I know. Here we go. Pascal Siakam under 29.5 points plus rebounds at minus 125 on DraftKings. This is as tough of a matchup as it gets for Mr. Siakam versus the Knicks. The Knicks have given up the fewest points and the second fewest rebounds to the power forward position in the last 15 days. Obviously, that's in part to Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and just the whole team in general. But also, the Knicks played a bottom three place, which means less opportunities for Siakam and these Raptors. Recent power forwards that the Knicks have played and their PR totals, because that's what we care about. Gordon Hayward, 10. I get it. He's not as good as Siakam. Isaiah Stewart, 12. Carl Anthony Towns, 25. Under by quite a bit. Jalen Johnson of the Hawks, who's now hurt, but he had 23. Victor Wembanyama, you ever heard of him? 23 PRs. The last power forward to go over this total versus the Knicks was Mr. Jason Tatum, a superstar. He did that on November 13th, so it's been a while. Siakam has on the season averages 20 points and 7 rebounds. So he's averaging 27 PRs. He has to go have an above average game and get 30 or more against a really, really tough matchup. Obviously, he could do it. He could catch fire, all that kind of stuff. But this is just one of those plays where you have to do it. And a tough matchup like this, when a guy's not even averaging that much, it's just too good to pass up. Now he honestly in 2 games against opponents that limit rebounds to power forwards like the Magic and the Spurs, he had 2 rebounds and 6 rebounds. So I think a big part of this, he might get his 17, 18 points, but I don't think he's going to be getting double digit rebounds or anything like that. I can see him having, maybe like a 17.16 or 16, 17.6 rebound kind of night, and that would be well under. So I just think 29.5 is too high. I saw it at 28.5 on FanDuel. I like the 29.5. Obviously, we're going under, but it's 28.5 for a reason. It's juiced to the under at 29.5 for a reason, guys. I think this number is too high. So give me the under for Mr. Pascal Siakam, 29.5 points plus rebounds. All right, this second bet is a player prop parlay. Before I get into it, I just want to let you know there's only like 6 games today. I only have 2 official bets, and then I'll have this Friday parlay after this one. Again, remember, I will add and play more than likely. If I do, it'll be in the pinned comments below. It'll be in Discord, and it will be on X. So be sure to check that out. It's not always right in the morning. Might be in the middle of the day, but I just want to make sure I have more time for odds and props to come out. It's kind of been a better route for me than kind of forcing a third or a fourth bet when I don't have one. So here we go. This bet number 2. It's a three-legger. Here we go. Franz Wagner, 20 plus points. Luka Doncic, 25 plus points. And KD, Kevin Durant, 25 plus points at minus 110 on FanDuel. Now, it's 3 legs. We just hit a 3-leg parlay yesterday, player prop. These are all alternate lines. Some of you guys are leaving comments. Where are you getting this? My line's at 25.5 or 30.5. It's all alternate lines. It's on FanDuel. You can get them on, what am I saying? DraftKings also. So Franz Wagner, 20 plus points. Let's talk about it. This is, I think, going to be the hardest one probably, even though the points total is lowest. But he's been on an absolute roll lately, shooting 59.8% from the field, 39.1% from three-point range the last 5 games. He has now scored back-to-back 30-plus point games, and including the last game, which was against the same Wizards team. Yes, I know a blowout can affect this. It's against the Wizards. There could always be a blowout. But they just beat the Wizards by 19 last game, and he still played 30 minutes, and he scored 31 points. So, again, I'm asking him to get 20. I'm not asking him to get 25 or 30 or anything like that. It's a great matchup. The Wizards give up the most points to power forwards in the NBA in the last 15 days. It doesn't get any better than that. That's probably why he scored 31 last game. They don't play defense in general, but if he stays on fire like this shooting the ball, I don't see any way he doesn't just sail past 20 plus points. Obviously, he's kind of a shooter, so you don't want him to have a cold night, but the volume is there. He's taken 14 or more shots in 10 straight games. I like him to get 20. Original line's at 23.5. I think he goes over that, but all I need is 20. The next one, these next 2 are just throw-ins, which is crazy to think about because they're 25 plus points, but they're superstars. Luka Doncic, 25 plus. He scored 25 plus in 14 of 17 games this year, averaging 31.1 points per game this year. In his only game against the Memphis Grizzlies, he had 35, 12, and 12 line. Obviously, we don't care about the other stuff, but he had 35 points. Grizzlies have given up the 5th most points to point guards in the last 15 days. I think he goes for 30 plus. I just need 25 in a great matchup from Mr. Luca. The last one, KD, who's come through for us before at this 25 mark. This is wild, but let me tell you how many times he scored 25 or more points. 15 straight games. The only time he went under this was, I think, opening night. Other than that, 15 straight games. It's been unbelievable. Booker is trending towards not playing. Obviously, keep an eye on that. I don't think it matters. When Booker plays, he still scores 25 or more. It doesn't matter. Like I said, 15 straight games. Nuggets are average versus power forwards this season, but Kevin Durant is a Hall of Famer. The thin man is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the best pure scorers in NBA history. It doesn't matter who he plays. But like I said, they're just an average matchup. Against a top tier defense like the T Wolves earlier this year, he scored 31. It doesn't matter, guys. He's Kevin Durant. His line, like I said, it's around 31 and a half. That's a lot for me. I probably would stay away, but I do think he scores 30. I think he ends in that 30 to 33 range. So I would lean under, but all I need is 25 plus from a guy who just knows how to put the ball in the hoop. So that's my bet number two. And let's move on to the Friday parlay. All right, we're doing something a little different with this parlay. It's going to be two legs instead of three like we usually do, but it's still a nice, juicy plus 386. Here we go. Nikola Jokic, triple double, and over 222 and a half in the Philly and Boston game. Let's start with the Jokic triple double. Again, guys, this is like plus 155 on its own on FanDuel. If you just want to bet this by itself, do it. I do never want you guys to just watch these videos and just copy exactly what I do or anything. Like, these are just my opinions, my help. Maybe it leads you in a different direction for another bet or something, or maybe you do like what I'm saying. But this is just a Friday parlay we like to put together. So Jokic triple double. It's all about assists with him. We know that. He's gotten 10 plus points and 10 plus rebounds in every single game this season. So I'm really just betting his assists. He's coming off a 32, 10, and 15 game. I mean, he's the man. What else do I have to say? We bet him before. I think we're like 1-1 on his triple double bets, and we fell one assist short one time. But like I said, the odds are huge. I think it's like plus 125, plus 130 on DraftKings, which I still like, but FanDuel plus 155 is pretty juicy. Give me Jokic to get another triple double. And I know someone said it last time. He has never gotten two triple doubles in a row this season. I get it, but you know what? I'm going to take my chances. The odds are too good to pass up, so let's do it. And obviously, he's going up against the Phoenix Suns. Nothing special there defensively. So, next one, over 22 and a half, Philly Boston. Embiid is questionable with an illness. I think he's going to play, but it's kind of, I like it either way. I'm going to be honest with you. I think this total is too low. If Embiid plays, we have two of the most efficient half court offenses in the entire NBA in the 76ers and the Celtics. We talked about it before. 76ers, it's crazy. You get better when you don't have a guy holding the ball all the time who has a big beard. I won't even mention his name. But the Celtics, top three offense, like we mentioned, if Embiid doesn't play, and we hit this last year a little bit, when Embiid doesn't play, the Sixers actually play faster. So I don't necessarily think it absolutely kills an over under because it's just a little bit different. The pace will be a little bit faster. They may score a little bit less or be less efficient, but they might still score the same or more points. I just like how they play when he's not in there, anyways. At home this season, Celtics score the fourth most points with 122.8. 76ers score the ninth most points on the road this season at 116.5. I think 222.5 is a little low. I know they went under this earlier this season, but I expect these two offenses to show up, and I'm going to take the over 222.5 Philly Boston to go with the Nikola Jokic triple double at plus 386. Again, these are two bets you could bet individually, and I wouldn't have any problem with it. I'm not a huge parlay guy, as you guys know, but I like to put something together, and I thought a nice two-legger would be a little change of pace. So that's what I got for my best bets and the Friday parlay for Friday, December 1st. Let's check out the bets recap. We start with an under. Pascal Siakam under 29.5 points plus rebounds at minus 125 on DraftKings. I do still like it at 28.5 on FanDuel. I probably wouldn't go much lower than that though. And then the second bet, a player prop parlay again. We got a lot of alternate lines. Franz Wagner 20 plus points of the Orlando Magic, Luka Doncic 25 plus points of the Dallas Mavericks, and Kevin Durant 25 plus points of the Phoenix Suns. Put them together, you get a nice standard minus 110 on FanDuel. And then the Friday parlay, Jokic triple double over 222.5 Sixers and Celtics. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments. We hit a big one with Mark Williams. So if I have anything else I like in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow, I will put it in the pinned comments below. I will also put it on X and in Discord. By the way, we have over 2,000 members, I think, in Discord right now. It's absolutely crazy. People are helping each other out left and right. New NHL handicapper, all the stuff is there. So hopefully you guys go join. We have every channel possible, even up to cricket. I don't know anything about cricket, but it's in there. So, anyways, thanks for the support. I really hope everyone has a great Friday. And again, the NFL player props video will be out late tomorrow night or later tonight, and hopefully we can stay on that run. So, thanks again for the support. We'll talk to you later.